Welcome to Valley Ranch. We're talking Cowboys. This is Clarence Hill. I'm Charean Williams. And Clarence, let's start out with DeMarco Murray. He downplayed all week after they ran for 7 consecutive 100-yard games. It's not a big deal passing Jim Brown. Clearly, it was a big deal with the gifts he gave the offensive lineman.
There's no doubt, and he's a class act. He gave his offensive lineman, the starting offensive lineman, 21-inch iMac computers, personal computers. They're valued at $1,300, which is not a cheap gift, but it showed you that he appreciated the record. Also, it showed you they appreciated what they did in helping to get the record, because the Cowboys have all along said, yeah, he's getting the record, he's getting the recognition, but it's more than him. It's about the whole team and what they're doing.
And I thought he should have been Player of the Week this week. He wasn't, Aaron Rodgers was, but I thought that was one award he should have gotten, clearly playing among the best players in the NFL right now, along with Peyton Manning. Let's talk about Tony Romo. Best version of himself, he said before the season. We kind of laughed at that, but maybe this is the best version of himself this year. He's playing awfully well, as Jerry Jones said, might have been his best game on Sunday. Effective and accurate, as we said on the last video.
There's no doubt, and we scoffed at Tony when he, in training camp, first day of training camp, I'm going to be the best version of myself. You watch, I'm the best version of myself. Then he goes out and he doesn't practice 2 or 3 days, and he's not practicing, he's going through all of this stuff throughout camp, and he's not on the field, and we're scoffing as we should. You know, in the first game, he has 3 picks. You know, but as the games have gone on, as he's gotten healthier, as the Cowboys have gotten him a running game and started helping him out with some other things, Tony Romo has been great. And that's the thing, that Murray's overshadowed how well Romo has played, because he's the 4th leading passer in the NFL. He's first in completion percentage. He's Troy Aikman-like, which I've said, all week. You know, he's efficient, he's effective, and playing error-free football.
You're the one that first brought up the triplets comparison, and I saw Brian Billick this week did the 1995 final stats of the triplets and compared them to what these guys are on pace for, and these guys' numbers match or better the triplets from 1995. It's been that kind of season for these guys. Do you were covering the team back then. Do you see some comparisons here? I know it's early. These are Hall of Famers we're talking about. But just the type of season they're having this year, this 1 year, do you see some comparisons to that 1995 season?
Well, no doubt. And I don't think it's not by coincidence. I mean, Jason Garrett set out to remake this team in the mold of that old team, starting with the offensive line and how they built the offensive line up front. Because we forget, the triplets got all the attention, but that offensive line had 5 Pro Bowlers up front. You know, that 94 season had 4 guys from that team at 95, 4 guys from the offensive line make the Pro Bowl that year. And you look at this team here, the foundation is the Pro Bowl. Certainly the triplets, the new triplets, or triplets 2.0, as Michael Irvin said, are getting all the attention as they should. But it starts with the offensive line, and then you go back to a running game that sets everything up, making it easy for Romo to be efficient, like Troy Aikman, and make key 3rd downs and not have to throw the ball 50 times a game as he did in the past. And you got Dez Bryant doing his best Michael Irvin impression, making big plays down the field. Certainly been key on 3rd down. You know, Dez has 45 catches this year. 27 have come from 1st downs. But it's not just that. It's not just the line. It's not just the triplets. It's also Jason Witten, who was doing his best Jay Novacek imitation. And it's also Beasley and Dwayne Harris looking like Kelvin Martin and Kevin Williams. So they have other guys to help out when you can't get the ball to Irvin, you can't get the ball to Witten, or Dez, you can't get the ball to Witten. You got Terrence Williams making plays like Alvin Harper downfield. Don't catch a lot of balls, but catches a lot of touchdowns. And so, yeah, it's not a coincidence. It's a tried-and-true formula that Jason believed in back then that he brought to fruition today.
We're going to see the Redskins this week. Jason Hatcher's coming into town, the Cowboys' leading sack artist last season. They miss him. They miss DeMarcus Ware. They're doing a lot of good things on defense. They're way better than they were on defense than a year ago, obviously, when they were the 3rd worst defense in NFL history. There's no question about that. They're forcing turnovers. They're stopping the run. All those things are good. They're getting pressure. They are not getting sacks.
Right.
That's the one thing that you go back to this defense, that at some point it's going to come up to bite them in the butt if they don't start getting those sacks. And we've talked a lot about it this week in the locker room, and now obviously with Jason Hatcher coming to town, it's even more of an issue. And I know you've talked to some guys about it too. Do you agree with that they've got to start getting more sacks if this defense is going to live up to what they expect themselves to be?
Or not the defense, but the team. You know, we talk about comparisons to the triplets and that team won titles, okay? That team was special. So until this team can do that, you know, you can't make that comparison. And the difference between that team and this team, that team did have defensive guys who were top of the line playmakers. You had Charles Haley, you had Jim Jeffcoat, you had guys rushing the quarterback, and not just the guys in the secondary, but you had guys who were difference makers on the front end, you know, helping those guys out in the secondary. And that's what this team needs. You know, and you brought up Aaron Rodgers earlier, and he was a player with Green Bay is playing as well as anyone right now. Aaron Rodgers is probably playing as well as any quarterback in the league. And you look in the big picture, you look down the road in the possible game against Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, you have to be able to get to the quarterback. Eli Manning had too much time last week. Certainly you like to win, you like what they're doing, you like the 6-1 start, but when you look at the big picture, there are things they need to do to get better, to get where they want to go. And the number one thing is they got to start getting to the quarterback, get the quarterback on the ground.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Talking Cowboys. For Clarence Hill, I'm Charean Williams.